This is Sound Off 60.
I want to make sure that the best team is the champion.
Yeah.
I want to play,
and that's key.
If that tournament comes up with this is the best team, I'm for that.
Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show.
With me? Hey. Without me. All
That
right.
might be the dumbest argument we've ever had.
You
I
are
like
the
the way he
most
does that.
idiotic imbecile if you thought that argument did not have merit. Look, did not.
All right,
McCarran.
So you're talking about my LSU quarterback?
Yeah.
What you put with me, without me.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Welcome back to Jack Daniel's at LaBerge Casino, and welcome to a special edition of Sound Off 60. We'll call it our Purple and Gold LSU Pep Rally, because that's what it's
I don't do pep rallies.
I do
Don't
pep
do pep
rallies. I'm
rallies.
sorry.
Yeah,
I do
this'll
pep
be-
rallies. I
This will
do
be
them.
the closest thing that Sound Off 60 can do for an LSU Pep Rally.
I agree.
Right in the wheelhouse of Kevin Guidry. Let's
Yes.
tell you
We're
what
having
we
to calm him down.
Y'all,
tonight.
It's a big night tonight. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
big night
You're gonna-
tonight.
You're going to see purple and gold coming out the top of his head. LSU head football coach Les Miles will join us later in the show,
Yes.
along with head basketball coaches Johnny Jones and Nikki Caldwell. They're all in town and right here at the legendary LaBerge Casino for the big LSU, we'll call it not semi-annual, but every other year tour. Kevin
Yes,
filled
it
me
is.
in because of Houston and
Yeah.
because of that LSU alumni contingent over there.
It's a
they
lot
got to
of
go
tours that
across
they
the
do,
border.
basically right at about 12 a year, and they have to break them up because coach can't be everywhere at all times. So what they'll do is that they'll do Louisiana and Texas every other
year.
And this felt this year to be our year.
Yeah.
So we're ready to kick off a big season, and everybody's in house. We're going to have right at about maybe close
Two
to
straight
500.
times that
25.
they've had it that we've been able to get Les Miles
Yeah.
on the
Yes,
show.
we have.
Yeah,
Yes, we have.
that's right. And of
Thank
course,
him for that too.
and on the other, when they go into Texas to do their big tour fundraiser,
Yeah.
it's in Houston.
Exactly. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
that's a strong LSU base in Houston.
Yes, it
It
is.
is what outside of Louisiana, the largest. Is it
And
been
the
documented?
largest outside of
I would
Baton
say.
Rouge
Outside
Yeah.
Baton Rouge.
and New Orleans.
And
Yeah,
there's
in New
been
Orleans.
talk, Rick, in the last meeting we had that there may be another place they're looking to do it. It's going to come as a surprise, but it's Dallas. There's a big draw from the Dallas area.
Really?
And they're saying
Yeah,
that
that's
may be
no
one of the other
surprise.
stops that they're going to look at doing, probably the Dallas area.
Okay.
So,
Well, we call it our special show. We're going to get into some general topics, but mixed in with all of
Yeah.
that, it will be, of course, Les Miles. We hope to be able to keep the head ball coach there for at least a couple segments, really get
Yeah.
into some
The head
subjects.
ball
with-
coach.
Oh, that would be the other guy,
That
isn't
would
it?
be Steve Spurrier.
The head coach of the Bayou
The
Bengals.
Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter. There you
Mad
go.
Hatter.
Thank you for correcting me, newspaper boy.
Yeah.
And also
And-
Mr. Jones and Miss Caldwell
Yeah.
to talk basketball.
They're looking forward to it, though.
So it'll be a lot of fun. Let's stay on the LSU front, if you will.
Yeah.
Big news out of Baton Rouge, the American Press Hobbs. Jared Foster, we talked about it in last week's
Yeah.
show,
Yeah.
ruled academically ineligible. His baseball career supposedly comes to an end.
That's
Magically,
That's
he
sad.
is he appeals and he is now academically eligible.
that
If
is,
I understand it, he didn't even have to appeal.
yeah.
That
crazy.
it was there's a loophole there. Now he did appeal and wanted to appeal.
Yeah.
So even without the loophole, as I understand it, he would have regained eligibility. But as it turned out, he wasn't really academically ineligible to
Good.
begin with because it's not really important. There is a loophole. The courses where they was saying he had come up short, in other words, having two
Right.
or 6 credits, 2 classes basically, that go toward your degree. Well, when you're in your last 2 semesters before graduating, all it has to be is 6 credits toward any degree
Yeah.
that is given by LSU, and I guess any course counts toward something.
Was
So
this
he's
a
okay.
clerical error?
I guess
Could
you
be,
could
yeah,
call
it could
that.
be,
I
yeah.
call-
Yeah, it could be.
Call it.
Yeah.
But it's a very obscure rule.
Yeah.
And you got to give somebody at LSU credit for
Yeah.
uncovering it.
Yeah, somebody's going to
that's
get a
great.
ding ding for getting
Yeah.
Foster back on
a
the
great kid.
baseball.
Yeah,
to
and he's
have
a
back.
good kid.
Yeah,
I'm
he is.
glad to see.
You would hate to see that happen, really.
and,
You would.
and we talked about it last week. He's an integral ball player. I mean,
yes.
he-
He's contributed to the
I
team.
guess a lot of home runs late in
I've
that
kind of
batting lineup.
suspected this, but who was it? I guess it was Christian Aya, one of their players.
Mm-hmm.
Said when he came back, He's the best athlete on the team.
Yeah. That says a lot.
And then he's
Yes, he
very
does.
versatile, does a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that worked out.
Congratulations to the former
Good for
Bob
him.
star, Jared Foster, who's back with the LSU Tiger baseball team. A guy, the story won't end, and it probably will go on and on until maybe, I guess, Tom Brady files the appeal.
Oh, my goodness.
Either wins the appeal or get it. Now the
Guys.
talk, it's still, look, I screamed and I raved last week, and I'll scream and rave again. And I didn't use this phrase, and I should have, obviously, but I was just boiling over because it really hit right before our last show production.
Yeah.
The news of the punishment by the NFL toward Brady and the Patriots. It's not just Brady now. Four-game suspension. Remember, this is a team that's going to lose a first-round
pick.
draft
That's
pick
big.
and a fourth
round the following year.
In the following year, plus a $1 million fine. The $1 million fine, that's Kraft. He can handle that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let me tell you something, though, Rick. If you
Let me
guys
say this: the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
No.
Wasn't that an old TV show, Beretta or something?
Yeah,
You
I
can't-
said that. Yeah,
It doesn't fit
that's
the
Beretta.
crime.
But look, let me tell you what gets even
Doesn't
better.
matter.
Kraft
Matters
is
to
going
me.
to.
Do you
The
think
comment.
the Saints punishment fit the crime?
No, that was excessive as well.
Yeah,
But-
I agree.
But it's Bountygate, Deflategate.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about
Yeah.
pounds
I
in
agree.
football.
I agree.
Okay, but go ahead, Kevin.
The rule is there for some reason.
It's a dumb rule,
It's been
but I know
done.
that. I know that.
But they put it in there for
You
some
can't
reason.
pick and choose the rules you want to follow. I
It's
get all
so
that.
much into this, guys. Let me tell you part of it. Kraft, today he made a comment. He said, if that's the way they want to play, when that's the way we'll play. Guys, you remember back in the old days when Al Davis was the owner of the Raiders, how he kind of distanced himself from the league itself?
Yeah.
And how they,
Constantly.
I see
He
that,
thumbed his nose at the
Yeah.
league.
I see that coming because of the comment that Kraft made. We could be looking
But
at something like
Kraft-
that again with the.
Kraft is a big-time owner.
Well, but I'm telling
He
you,
is
but
a critical.
look
Kraft's
at
a
all the
company
things
man.
that's
He's a
happened,
company
guys,
man.
before with the deal.
He's
That's
not
one.
happy. He's just
He's not happy with the league
well,
right
he's
now.
supporting his guys.
Yeah, he is.
He's supporting his
And
guys.
that's why I say,
But,
guys,
I
we
mean,
may have them look at.
Well,
I
we'll
think
see.
it's going to get deeper than what it looks like now. I do.
Kraft will be a company man, though. I don't think Goodell's got to worry about Kraft.
No,
Well, it's going to get pretty interesting, Scooter.
it doesn't fit the crime. You have national
How
people
long- how
screaming
many
on
times
either
do you
way.
have to
Rick,
say that?
but Rick,
Because it's
this is-
ridiculous. How
But
can
Rick-
you? This is a Hall of Fame guy. You're also besmirching
okay.
this guy's
You know, the
reputation.
NFL
he
has-
will be
has
tainted
rules.
for the rest of his professional career and beyond.
He has already,
The
Rick. I mean,
NFL
it's-
has
Yeah.
rules to how high your socks have to come
I
up.
know that.
All right, if you break that, okay, that was inadvertent. That was
Look.
an oversight. This was a concerted, clandestine
Clearly.
effort to circumvent a rule.
You say some crazy things, crazy and idiotic things. But I'll give you this.
Look.
Last week when we talked about this, you did say most of it, which I agree with, stems from the obstruction, the arrogance,
Exactly.
if you want to
Yes,
call
it
it the
does.
cover-up
Rick,
or whatever.
Well, that's what
look.
I'm saying. They made a concerted.
Jerry Rice cheated. He
A lot
put
of them
stickum on his
a
hands.
lot of them did. But this is how far it
Offensive
goes, guys.
linemen put stuff on their jerseys.
Yes, they do to
Everybody
make it
skirts
slippery.
the
Yes, they do.
rules.
They put Vaseline on it. This is the thing, Rick.
No, wait
when
a
you
minute, wait a minute. If they put, I mean, they used to do that because it was legal.
Well,
that's why it's
that's when they
illegal
don't
now.
check, though. But
But you
this
don't
is-
think a offensive lineman is going to call BS? Go tell the ref there's Vaseline on those shoulder pads?
Yeah, but you don't tell
No.
me that some of those offensive line guys or whatever is using
I'm
a
pretty
little
sure,
stuff.
Rick,
No, look,
look.
everybody's out skirting the rules.
Look,
Quickly, Kevin.
Let me tell you this.
If you're not cheating, you
They-
ain't trying.
They said that when you look back at it, Rick, look, how far can you go back and find out things that other teams have done that wasn't by the rules?
I know that.
So right now you're saying the New England Patriots is the only team in the league that has done wrong?
No.
Okay.
Punishment
I don't
for the
buy it.
crime.
others
I don't
get
buy
caught.
it.
$100,000 fine.
I know what you're
And
saying,
I think
Go
home.
But I don't buy
of
it.
Part of the strict sanctions that came down was because of what he
I know that.
did to
Exactly.
the Saints. If they just said,
They
okay,
knew. They
know
knew,
that.
Scooter.
what does it really matter?
It all-
A half a pound. The Saints would
Look.
have justifiably gone ballistic.
I'm right on this, guys. The rule is stupid. The punishment is
Yeah,
even
but
equally
Rick-
or more stupid. $100,000 fine, and let's go
But
home.
Rick-
We got to go home. We got to go to commercial break. Les Miles is waiting in the wings. Okay.
Yes, he is.
The Mad Hatter is somewhere in Jack Daniels. We've got to get him on this show. We'll take a short pause. The special LSU show continues
Yes, we're looking
in
forward
about
to it.
2 when we come back to Jack Daniels. Stay right there.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort.
They tell you it's out there, somewhere, upon a star, over a rainbow, where the grass is greener and everyone's happily ever after. But it's not on a map or some app. It's not someday or somehow. It's wherever you are, here and now, when you are you.
Hi, we're the Tarvers for Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford. We'd like to invite you to come shop with us during our annual May-June sale.
This is our biggest sale of the year, so it's the best time to buy. Our new Toyotas have great summer incentives, and our Fords are vastly improved in quality and style. And the prices have never been better.
At Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford, we aim to provide the ultimate automotive relationship with lifetime free oil changes and a great experience every time you step in our doors.
Our standard is to treat you so well you won't even think of going anywhere else.
So come see us for our annual May-June sale at Tarver Ford.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at LeBare's Casino. Let's kick off our special LSU Tiger Tour show here at Sound Off 60. Want to welcome LSU head football coach Les Miles. You're way over there, Coach. Hopefully you can see me.
Yeah.
A lot of activity going on at LeBare's Casino because you're going to draw a big crowd with this tour, if you will, and really meet and greet all the Tiger fans in Southwest Louisiana. It's hard to believe. You're going to enter your second decade.
Yeah.
Head coach of LSU.
Like
I like that. I think it's a good plan. 11 years. I enjoyed each and every one of them.
Yeah.
Coached some great teams, some great young men. My family's grown up in Louisiana. Basically, we are from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Just the way it is.
Well, we love having you guys, Coach.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna leave the easy questions.
Because you better get it in now because I'm
Quarterback.
gonna have it the rest of
quarterback. Are you kidding me? He could not.
I'm gonna let
you know that's where he's going,
That's
right?
exactly right.
You know that's where he's going, Coach.
Tell him there's only one question off limits, quarterback.
Yeah.
Go
Other
ahead,
than
Scooter.
quarterback, when you start summer drills, what's the second biggest priority for you?
Really just making sure that our offensive and defensive lines are competing at a very high level. I think really in two-a-days, the thing that really requires a team to come to bear is that those that population of big men, those two groups, compete. And if they do that, we'll have the finest linebacking core. We'll have one of the really a very capable secondary. Our running backs are going to be special. Our tight ends are going to be special. Our wide receivers are young and developing. Quarterbacks are as well, much improved. If those big men, if they come to bear early in two-a-days, we'll be ready.
Coach, how tough is it competing against the Alabamas of the world, the Floridas of the world in recruiting? I know there's a circle of players that everybody look at every year. How tough is it being able to get into those homes and visit with those top players, Coach?
Well, Louisiana's special. It's a great school. It gives you a great choice, a broad-based liberal arts school. You have really, after a career academically, you have a great career to do things like you've done. I mean, very comfortable executive at the LaBerge and in a casino career.
Yes.
And petroleum industry is a wonderful place for our guys to end up. We have really, it's a great place to launch a career from. And when you look at LSU, we've put more guys in the NFL than anybody else.
Yep.
I agree.
We are graduating our players in the high 70s, and really over a decade. An interesting fact is what happens is the NC2A looks at the last 4 years. The last 4 years we're in the 70s. In the last 6 years we've been 74, 78, 74, but over the last 10 years, with the guys that have come back and gotten their degrees, we're really around 80%. So we're leading college football and producing NFL players. Our guys are getting their degrees. There's a great career after. I just want you to know, those people that have choices and can go to a bunch of different places, very often, and rightfully so, pick Louisiana State University. It's a great place.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
LSU head coach Les Miles has joined us here for our special LSU show here at Sound Off 60. Coach, I'm gonna go high and inside on you. Everett Golston from Notre Dame has said he's going to transfer. Are you talking to him? Would you like to talk to him? And that recruiting word, can you recruit him? And is there interest there?
There is interest, and we've had interest. But what we want to do is we want to stay consistent with the team that we've developed. And how much better does another transfer make us? And frankly, we've looked at a lot of film, looked at a lot of guys, and we think we'll stand pat. We'll play those quarterbacks that we have.
Would you say no? I mean, if he
did?
No.
I think there's a.
You would have to investigate.
I think you still investigate and you still talk to, but frankly, do you bring a guy in and tell him you're the starter? No. You tell him to come in and you tell him to come in and compete with our two guys who we think are much improved and getting better. And good luck.
When you look at the system that's in place as it is, Coach, that you have at LSU, how tough is it for a freshman or for a transfer to come in and be able to adapt to what it is that you guys want to do on offense?
Well, if you look at Leonard Fournette, he'd be an example of a guy that adapted pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think it really just depends on the style of player. If he is physically and intellectually, he has the maturity that you need to step forward and play in an SEC contest in our stadium, with the game on the line, then he's ready to play. But frankly, in the last 3 years, we've played 15 for 2 of those years, true freshmen, and 17 last year.
Yeah.
So we have found a group of men that can step forward and play at a very high level. We're going to do the same thing again. We like this freshman class we have coming in, and I think you'll find freshmen will play again.
I agree. Coach, when you look back at the Bama game, the one thing that's so interesting to a team that probably could have went on to win the national championship, every year we're right there, Coach. We're right there with them. What's going to be the tipping scale for us to get over that hump?
Well, it's really been the last drive. Think about that. Really, you can go back and think about a number of things. Certainly in the last year, I like our chances to finish that game in any number of ways except the way it finished.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to tell you that I'd play it again from about the 3-yard line with the ball and just let's go see if that doesn't make a difference, right? But I think there's a confidence that our team has when we play them, and I think I think they're a good football team, well coached, well prepared, certainly talented. But as are we, and we'll start winning our share.
Coach, you talked about freshmen. You had upwards of 8 true freshmen that had significant playing time in snaps last year. One of them being Trey Quinn from Barb High School here in Lake Charles. Deshaun Smith, another young guy, not a freshman. Give us your insights into Mr. Quinn and Mr. Smith in regards to their production and their contributions upcoming season.
Well, first of all, both of which had very successful times at LSU. I think Deshaun Smith's going to be a really talented receiving, talented blocker. He's really matured. I think you can look forward to seeing him on the field a lot. If you watched our spring game, he made several receptions in the spring game.
He can catch the football.
He can catch the football, and he's grown and he's a blocker. He's more physical. And Trey Quinn is a consummate professional. He runs the route, knows route nuance, has quality hands. He just really needs to get comfortable and enjoy himself, and he will play great football for LSU.
Yeah, we're going to take a short pause, short break, come back and wrap it up with Les Miles. Stay right there, okay? Back in 2 to Jack Daniels with Les Miles, LSU head football coach. Stay right there.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Beglis Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
When you come home in Louisiana, you come home to easy living. It's where everyone is family, the food is good, and there's always a reason for a party. At J&J Exterminating, Louisiana is our home. We've been here for over 50 years, helping to keep homes pest-free. From termites to ants, mosquitoes to rodents, and everything in between, we shield your home, and satisfaction is guaranteed. Come home and pass a good time thanks to J&J Exterminating.
Hi, we're the Tarvers for Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford. We'd like to invite you to come shop with us during our annual May-June sale.
This is our biggest sale of the year, so it's the best time to buy. Our new Toyotas have great summer incentives, and our Fords are vastly improved in quality and style, and the prices have never been better.
At Lake Charles Toyota and Tarver Ford, we aim to provide the ultimate automotive relationship with lifetime free oil changes and a great experience every time you step in our doors.
Our standard is to treat you so well you won't even think of going anywhere else.
So come see us for our annual May-June sale at Tarver Ford.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at L'Auberge Casino. Our Tiger Tour show continues with head coach Les Miles from the LSU Tigers. That would be your cue.
Oh, you mentioned earlier that you have a Louisiana family. But, I mean, you were pretty much an outsider when you moved in. You and your wife both. Now, y'all had both, all of your kids were pretty young then. Was there a time you realized we are a Louisiana family now?
Yeah, it happened, you know, kind of naturally. The youth sports that our family played, I mean, swimming, fast pitch softball, baseball, football, and suddenly, you know, the opportunities for my family to do best and do well, go to a great school, and really to be treated extremely kindly by the people of Louisiana, it just happened. I mean, there was a point in time in a career where you said, you know, a wife talks to a husband and a husband talks to a wife and says, listen, where do you want to live? Louisiana. So it's an interesting thing. I brought my eldest daughter in at 10. She's 21. Manny in at 8. He's 19. Ben in at 6, he's 16. Macy at 1, and she's 11. All their friends are Louisiana people, and they want to come back and hang out with their buddies, and frankly, there is no finer. This is a great place, and I don't get me wrong. I want to finish up here 8, 10, 12, 15 years from now, and then I want Scooter's job. So, but. I
have to take a little cut.
I can't imagine that I would want to live any other place.
Great, Coach. Coach, one of the hot topics that we've talked about on this show for a number of times that deals with the collegiate level, for players being able to one day get some type of stipend or some type of pay. What's your thoughts on that, and how you could possibly see it be all worked out?
Cost of attendance right now, they're making more money than they have ever made in really the college history. In other words, as an example, and this is roughly, don't hold me to it, but it's accurate. At the end of the day, our athletes on scholarship will be about $1,000 in their pocket each month. I mean,
wow.
You know, my first job was, I didn't make that,
Wow.
you know, so this is a...
Your first job was in the NFL.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm talking about our first
he's
job.
talking about, yeah, that's what Coach's talking about.
But the opportunity for them to eat well, get some jeans, keep gas in the car, really enjoy their life. I think the NC2A has arrived with a quality formula there, and I think it's right. I really do. I think and the issues that they're dealing with now is using the likeness of the player. In other words, a guy like Leonard Fournette, you know, should he be able to sell his T-shirts, then with his name on it and his number on it, he should get a royalty. And then they're talking about, do you hold the royalty for, you know, that time until after he graduates,
school,
right? And so there's a bunch of issues there that involve, you know, what's fair and right, and what's compensation, and what makes him an employee, what makes him a student athlete, and but I think the first step is cost of attendance, and I think it's been a great step.
Les Miles has joined us here at Sound Off 60. Coach, you've had, in the last 2 or 3 years, you've had some coaching turnovers. You had some in and out, not a revolving door, but some coaching changes. Defensive coordinator John Chavis being the latest one, going to now what I consider LSU's arch rival in Texas A&M. Ill will between you and Chavis. Give us some ideas, some thoughts in regards to those changes in your staff. Sometimes it can be good, sometimes it can be detrimental.
There is absolutely no ill will. John Chavis, a quality man, did a heck of a job for us. He's a friend, but
you did everything you could to keep him.
There isn't any question. Okay, there's no question. Yeah. Well, but in the same vein, if it's time to go, it's time to go. And Kevin Steele has stepped in, done a great job. Yeah. I think our players really enjoy his coaching style. We're going to do some things very similarly. We're going to do some things very differently. I think it's going to be good in the fact that he's got Western Division experience. You know, been in Alabama, certainly has game planned everybody in the West. So I like his hire, certainly. Ed Ogeron's been waiting to wear LSU for as long as he is so glad to walk through a high school with an LSU on his chest, and it's exactly right. I've been recruiting him for some time. I've been wanting him on our staff, and now he's here and he's doing a great job. Yeah. You know, he teaches technically he teaches exactly what should be taught, and he teaches it with an enthusiasm and an enjoyment that you love playing for the guy. Yeah.
So you got the 1 minute drill. We got 1 more minute.
And Tony Ball is a fundamentally technically sound wide receivers coach, just what our young receivers need.
Yep. Can you hold up your hand? That's the biggest ring I ever saw. I assume that's the national championship ring. Hold up your hand for the game. Hold up your hand.
That is a big ring.
I gotta ask you, do you wear that thing? Do you wear that thing every day, or just when you know you're gonna be shaking hands with alum?
When I represent. I occasionally would wear it to a game, but and certainly in recruiting.
If you wore that every day, your right arm would be 6 inches longer than your left.
My right arm does come out of socket just occasionally.
Coach, we appreciate you coming in. Great success next year. I know you're coming off an 8-5 year. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one this year. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Have fun at LeBair's Casino. LSU Tiger Tour head coach Les Miles has joined us. We'll be back to wrap it up here at Jack Daniels. Stay right here.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com. Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LeBair's Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
Gold. It's the color of quality, the color of taste, the color of a true Pilsner. Let your eyes drink it in. When you want a real light beer, it's Miller time.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Dig in. Because after a few icy seconds, you'll discover the light beer brewed for 21 days. And that's time well spent. When you want a real light beer, it's Miller time.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino. Many thanks to head football coach Les Miles for spending some time with us talking Tiger football. Now we're going to shift gears to basketball and head coach Johnny Jones with the sport that Kevin Guidry really thinks he can play well and is his favorite sport. That would be basketball. Johnny, we appreciate you coming in. Welcome back home to Southwest Louisiana to begin with. Is the magic and the basketball mojo finally back at the PMAC?
Well, we don't ever want to consider a job being done, but we certainly feel like we're progressing in the right direction. A lot of excitement around the program. I think of our fan base and attendance is anything indicative of how excited our fans are. Yes, we're certainly on the right road, but we've certainly got a lot of work left to do.
It was kind of a breakthrough year, I think, for you. Not wildly unexpected, but I think to say that you were on schedule, making the NCAA tournament was a big step this year, right?
Well, we're excited about it. And what happens is we lost Johnny O'Bryant to the draft a year ago.
Which wasn't a shock.
Well, and then when you lose 3 starters along with him who've been very successful and have a certain impact on the team, it was certainly a lot we had to build upon. We only returned 2 sophomores who started the year prior to. Both of those guys, we had to make sure they had big years. Both did. And the incoming guys did an excellent job, and those guys returning had super years. So it's very good for us, but everything fell in place. And then winning 6 conference games on the road was huge for us, and that's not something you expect to do, especially in a tough conference like the SEC.
Johnny, Rick mentioned a little bit about the Magic being back. What is the one thing that you maybe can contribute to that? I know recruiting is a big factor in how you can structure a team to its success. Has that been a factor in basically getting you what you need on the court?
Well, I think it really is grassroots, making sure that we get out, try and see, touch, and feel everybody that we possibly can that want to really be involved in the program, making sure that they feel a part of, making sure that they take ownership and want to come out and really support our guys. And we've been very fortunate, the recruits we've had in, and not only the guys we've had in that we hadn't really missed. Sometimes you miss on guys or you think they're going to be pretty good, and sometimes they don't pan out as well and take them a little bit longer. We've been very fortunate the guys we've brought in have excelled in the program.
Great.
Johnny Jones, head basketball coach at LSU, has joined us here at Sound Off 60, our special LSU show edition. All the guys, Miles, Jones, Nikki Caldwell, in town for the big Tiger Tour here at LaBerge Casino. So a lot of fundraising, a lot of purple and gold. It's just going to be ODing on purple and gold, I can imagine.
That's not a bad thing, Rick. That's
What's
not
that?
a bad
I
thing,
didn't say it was a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
I apologize for wearing red and black.
I looked at him and said, you have on red, dude. What's going on?
I got no connection to Oxford or Alabama. It's just red and black night for me. All right, Johnny, let's go back to the season a little bit. He's the expert. Hobbs, our newspaper boy. But I do recall wins over Georgia, wins over Florida, wins over some strong SEC, but then you stumble and you lose, correct me if I'm wrong, back-to-back to Mississippi State and Auburn. Was it a yo-yo year, and what did you learn from that? Was it experience? Was it certain games complacency, or what?
Well, I learned that I was right about basketball, especially when you have an inexperienced team. Those things happen. Sometimes you're able to win those big games, and again, we won 6 games on the road with a very inexperienced team. Freshman, sophomore dominated. We were able to sprinkle in a couple of transfers who were juniors on that basketball team. But at the same time, if you have a junior, senior dominated basketball team, generally those things won't happen, and you can kind of hold steadfast in terms of your record and playing on the road, and guys understand after big wins really how to bounce back, and it's something you have to guard against. Now, granted, Auburn was a good basketball team. They came in and shot the ball extremely well against us at home, unfortunately. Mississippi State's a very good basketball team, very talented. They had a sophomore, junior dominated team, and those guys have been through the battles and wars. We were without really the service of one of our guys, Jarrell Martin, Hobbard, not Hobbard, he played pretty well in that game, but Jordan Mickey got hurt. in that game, but he still finished with some big numbers. Tim Quantum was sick going in, but we don't look for those excuses because we look for other guys to step up, because the same holds true to when Jordan Mickey was out. We didn't have him available to us. We went to Arkansas last game of the season, senior night, came up big and won that game on the road with that same young basketball team that we have. But anytime you have freshmen and sophomores that you're dependent on, those things happen, and we understand that. We've just got to make sure that they're playing hard and they're getting after it. But we're not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. People know that we're a good basketball team, so people prepare and they get ready for us. So when you take Kentucky to the wire like we did in the last second shot, and then went on the road at Florida by 18. People are not going to allow you to sneak up on them. They prepare real well, and if you're not at your best in this league, some nights you're going to get split.
You're going to get it.
Okay, I got, just to let you know, settle down. I got 2 questions.
And the other thing is, you said expert. I read his column as well, and he is an expert.
He's pretty good, Johnny.
Are you kidding me?
You just made his year, okay, Johnny? You just made his year. I promise you, you made his year.
Okay, I've called it the breakthrough, on-schedule breakthrough. Did you have any hope that Jordan Mickey and Jarrell Martin would be back?
Well, with both of those guys kind of not necessarily testing the market, but thinking about it a year ago, I thought if we were able to excel and do what we're able to do this year, win the number of games we did.
Year.
Oh, absolutely. The top 3 teams in the conference. I mean, we had the 3rd best overall record in the conference, and it's difficult in the conference that we're in, and the way that they played really throughout the year. And Jarrell Martin was exceptional really the second half of the year for us, and Jordan Mickey obviously didn't disappoint at all. So I thought that there was a good chance that both of those guys may leave this year.
Okay, second point is, I think as much as the buzz, having had this breakthrough, and you kind of, that's the left, you come with the right of this mega recruiting class coming in, that, Kentucky style almost recruiting class coming in. How excited are you about that?
Well, we're excited, but the big thing is just 5 years ago, they was last place in the league. And that's tough, and only winning maybe 2 or 3 league games, and then to get there and then just to break even in terms of conference play. Then the second year, 2 getting in the NIT and then win a game, I thought we were a little bit ahead of schedule, really from what we dealt with. And then losing those guys in this tough conference and being able to come back and win 22 games, where I thought we're a little bit really ahead of schedule at the end of the day because of the nucleus of guys that you're bringing in and flipping the schedule. We flipped our entire roster in only 3 years. I've had an opportunity to see 13 coaches at 6 schools now already in the SEC in a very short time. So it's difficult, but I think we're in a good place. I like our roster. I like Ben Simmons and the guys that we have coming in. So obviously, I'm not one of those guys that's going to say that we're not going to be very good, and I'm not going to beat it down and try to sneak up on people. I think we'll have a very solid basketball team next year, and it's going to depend on just how our guys come along and how quick we can develop the bond and the chemistry.
I've heard more buzz about Ben Simmons from among fans than any player
That's a familiar
I can
name.
remember. I mean, tell us what to expect from this guy.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this for over 30-something odd years now. It's good. And I've had an opportunity to watch Kobe Bryant in high school. I've watched LeBron James in high school, and the way they dominated the high school game and the opponents that they were playing against, the people that they were playing against in high school, the way they dominated, that's what Ben Simmons has done at a greater level because he's played in a more of a prep school type deal that he's played a national schedule. So he's played against top 10, top 15 guys all year long. So that's the impact that he have an opportunity to make, and that's what he really brings to the table.
Well, he's a big guy, but as I understand it, I mean, he can get away from the basket. What role do you foresee for him?
Make sure we don't wreck the bus on the way to the game, and make sure that he's dressed and we get him to the court. He'll do an exceptional job. He's a special basketball player. He's a special talent. We've got to allow him, and he's 6'10", 240 pounds. He moves like a gazelle out there on the floor. He's smooth as silk, and he's an excellent passer. It's not that he looks to score, but he makes other people around him better. And if he's been projected, if he could go out this year and the rules were in place, he'd be in the top 3 players possibly taken in the draft. And next year, he's already projected to be the #1 player taken in the draft. So I urge and encourage our fans to make sure that they get out there and get to see.
Kevin, you got the last shot.
I guess I do. Johnny, we talk so much about being in the SEC, and one of the things that I wanted to ask you as a coach, being in the SEC, when you look at Kentucky and you find the guys that come in for that 1 year and they're done and they're gone, What are your thoughts about that as a coach to see when guys do that?
Sound like you
and
may
they're
have to deal with it here.
And they're moving on.
Yeah. Well,
What's your thoughts about that?
those rules are in place, and kids have to come to school for a year. That's what the rules are. So John Calipari has done an excellent job, been able to put a great nucleus of guys together. They had 9 All-Americans last year, and they act like they were happy whether they were or not. And they went 38-0 before losing a basketball game. So it's talented, but you're certainly preparing young guys, and they're able to go out and make a living for their family, and they excel at a high rate, and it's a special thing. And had they won the national championship, it would have been hard to argue against. But you take a team that would, I think, only had 1 All-American, if that, in Wisconsin, and wind up beating them because they had the experience of juniors and seniors.
And Johnny, the one thing that we look at, because we talked about it, could there have been a team that could have went 40-0? But when you look at a team to be 38 and to get to that point and lose that one game, what do you think the breakdown could have been for those guys to be that talented to lose that one game?
Well, let me tell you, we were, when I was in high school, we were 41-0 in the championship game here in Lake Charles playing against Romo High School. Team that we'd beaten by 14 in the Lake Charles American Press Tournament. It's just that game. Other teams have an opportunity to execute, shoot, take some of your strengths away from you, and if they're shooting in their own that night, which Wisconsin they hit some big shots late, and unfortunately Kentucky did not execute down the stretch, which they had been able to do all year long, and those things happen, and it's just something that is really tough to guard against.
I agree.
Johnny, we appreciate you coming in. Folks, never forget, even old warriors like Johnny Jones remember the high school days, right? Glory days. Boy, he ripped off that 41-0. He ripped that off.
I get it from Johnny. I get it from Johnny.
The old DeRitter High School days. Johnny Jones, we appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
Enjoy Tiger Tour. Enjoy the stay here at LaBerge Casino.
I appreciate it.
Great
Thanks so much,
year
guys,
indeed. 22-11. I don't know. He might be chasing 39-0 next year. We'll have to wait and see. We'll take a short pause. Lady Tiger basketball is coming up next with Nikki Caldwell. Stay right here. We're returning to Jack Daniels in about 2 minutes.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort, home of Sound Off 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
Hi, we're the Tarvers with Tarver Ford. We just finished a fantastic year in 2014, and we're so excited about everything that's going on around us. But we're not going to take your business for granted, so in 2015, we're starting out with a bang.
Falling gas prices and a booming economy in our area are making your dollars go further than ever. We have a brand new redesigned F-150, and with 0% financing available on all our new car models, a new Ford could be in your future more affordably than you might think.
So come see us today at Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
This beer, light beer, is one of the hardest beers in the world to brew. Mainly because there are no heavy flavors to hide any imperfections. And it just so happens that Miller Lite has won more gold medals than any other light beer. Now there's some barroom trivia for you. It's Miller time.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge Casino, continuing with our special LSU edition of the Tiger Tour show here at Sound Off 60. We want to welcome Nikki Caldwell. First time on the show,
Yes.
Lady Tigers head basketball coach. Glad to have you here. I think we missed you the last couple of Tiger Tours. You didn't want to be outdone by Johnny Jones and the Tigers, did you? You get to the NCAA tournament.
Well,
and that's critical.
After
Continue
a
that
very
postseason
slow
play.
start.
I know. You know, Coach Jones has done a fabulous job of just revamping the energy, the passion for LSU basketball. And his team, you know, when you look at the Kentucky game, you know, I was there. Coach Miles, we were all in the student section, along with Dee Dee Bro and Fran, and just him captivating all of us to come and be a part of that says a lot for what he's doing. And the future for LSU basketball is so bright. I'm so excited for what he's about to accomplish.
That's men's basketball, and I think the SEC made some strides this year on the men's side, but it's still getting there, particularly now when you think about the influx of coaches they're
Yes.
going to have in there now. But SEC women's basketball is a war zone. And you started off slow this year and then finished strong. What was the key with that?
Well, when you get your best player back, that helps a lot. No, we started out slow, but we played some quality teams.
Sure.
We played 5 teams that were NCAA, got the nod on Selection Monday. But when you get Danielle Ballard back and you move Regine Moncrief into her respective position, things start to flow a little bit better. But the SEC, when you're every year getting 8, 9 teams in the tournament, 7 teams are always preseason top 25. It's competitive, and for us to go 10-6, finish 4th in the SEC behind South Carolina, who had an unbelievable year, Tennessee, and Mississippi State, who we actually beat in overtime, double overtime at their place. It said us a lot about our team, really coming out and fighting when they have to, when they know their back was against the wall, and that's what we did.
Nikki, when you look back at the season and when you look back at Coach Jones' season, when you talk about the passion and how people want to be a part of the LSU, boys and girls, how big a factor do you think that's been in you being the ladies' coach has helped in recruiting to get top players to your program?
Well, it's huge. I mean, that's the lifeline of our program is the student athlete. And I remember when Sue Gunner was the head coach.
I remember Sue when I was there.
And playing at Tennessee and playing against LSU. And it was tough to go to LSU. It was tough to go to PMAC and try to come out with a W. The fans, the support was unbelievable. And you want that back, and that's what we're gunning for. We want it to be hard to come into our home and try to get a win. The other thing that Sue Gunner left, her legacy, was that you played defense and you rebounded the basketball. That was the philosophy of her program. And that's the philosophy that I played with and that I was fortunate to be a part of Pat Summit. And they both kind of breathe and talk the same language. So it's easy coming to an LSU and having that passion and that desire because of what Sue Gunner has meant to the women's basketball game.
You were a lady ball. I'm going to get off topic here a little bit, but you struck a nerve with me a little bit.
You mentioned Pat. When she mentioned
Pat
Pat.
Summit, one of my all-time favorite
Everybody
people
loved Pat.
and coaches. Let me give you my theory. If you just watch her on TV, she looks like the meanest woman on earth because she can stare you down now. But really and true, the limited dealings I've had with her, she's really one of the nicest people you will ever meet. Tell us about what it was like to play for her. Wow.
It was intense. That I never wanted to be on that side of that stair though. So I wanted to do everything I could. Whatever she asked of me, I did it. But
I don't think she ever smiles during the game.
No, she never smiles. No, she
even
never
if things
smiles.
are going good.
She doesn't smile till after the season is over with. And that's when she smiles. But I think the thing that I was fortunate to see was I was able to see Pat as the wife. Pat as the mom, because Tyler was born when I was a freshman in college. I got to see her wear so many other hats. And when you leave the program, when you leave college, you did have a deeper appreciation for what your college coaches are trying to teach you. And I didn't learn that till later. And that's something that I know a lot of former players will say. But her intensity, she was not going to allow you to cut corners, which you can't cut corners in life. And she was going to push you past what you thought that you could do because she saw more in you. And that's what we do with our student athletes at LSU. We challenge them to be not only great athletes, but also to be great students. We sit on the first 3 row of every class. You attend classes. You go your own time to your tutor appointments. Those are the life skills that you have to carry when you leave the program.
Was there one thing, when you were playing, did you know you wanted to be a coach?
I did not.
Well, was there one thing when you think back that say, as a coach, you picked up from her? Is there one, central thought of being?
Well, when I decided to be a coach, why I decided to be a coach was I was doing commentating. I was doing the broadcasting, and I was with Fox, and I was doing that, and I was talking about the game and breaking down film, and I felt like I needed to do more. I needed to be more hands-on. And the thing about a coach or being a coach is it's a lifestyle. It becomes like you wake up and you wear the hat coach last. It's you as the mentor, it's you as their mom, it's you as their grandma, you know, it's you in so many other capacities that you don't even think about the X's and O's of it. That comes that 7 o'clock, we throw the ball up. But everything else before that, that's why I coach.
Yeah, Nikki Caldwell, head basketball coach of the Lady Tigers from LSU. We appreciate you coming in. It's Tiger Tour Week here at L'Auberge Casino. If I recall from my notes, you mentioned about playing top teams last year. You were 5-3 against top 20 ranked teams. That's pretty good for a slow start and the power of women's basketball overall. Following up with your thought on teaching and learnings, I can throw some names out from the past and current. Bardmore, Mulkey, Summit, Gino up north at UConn.
I don't mention him. I don't like him.
Do you steal, cheat, learn? How do you watch and learn from those other? You mentioned Pat Summit, but there's a lot of great coaches still actively. How do you absorb what they're doing and kind of mirror that success?
You got to be a sponge.
Yeah.
You have to be a sponge. It was great to be able to be a part of Coach Summit's legacy as a player and on her staff. But I watched Gino. I watched the shows that he has on ESPN, and he's talking about how to get his team to a Final Four. You watch everybody. I go in, I sit on Coach Jones' practices. I've been to spring training where Coach Miles is with his team. You know, you just pull from all the resources that are around you, and you then formulate your own coaching philosophy. But obviously, I've been fortunate also to be with Debbie Ryan, who a Hall of Fame coach at University of Virginia. Billy Moore, Olympic coach who was at UCLA. So I definitely tap into that, and that's a great point, that you have to be able to have that circle of just knowledge that's right there, and you got to tap into it, and that's what I've done. I've been fortunate to do.
Coming off a 17 and 14 year as we wrap it up.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll let you jump in. You go through that. I guess the future of Lady Tiger basketball.
Well, it's going to be tough next year. We're playing 7 in our non-conference schedule. We're playing 7 opponents ranked in the top 50. Wow. We're going to play UConn. We're going to play at UConn, at Rutgers. We'll play possibly Stanford, Louisville, and or Dayton. Teams that were in the NCAA tournament, in another tournament in Florida. So our non-conference schedule is going to be very competitive, along with the SEC.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort.
Unbelievable players. I've got a very unique team. We represent 5 different countries on my team. Japan, Denmark, London, Australia, and the States. So you're gonna get a different look.
Greg Popovich in the college game. She's got a lot of countries represented.
Nikki, when you guys go around to the Tiger Tours and all of those things, what is the one thing you get out of being in front of all of those fans and drawing from, like you mentioned earlier, like a sponge? What do you get out of this, Nikki?
I get a chance to not only just talk about our program, but I get a chance to tell them, like when we were hosting the Sweet 16, and students, they have to pay to come in and watch those games during the NCAA tournament. I get to tell them how Joe Oliva, our athletic director, Coach Miles, and Paul with baseball and men's basketball, they all pitched in $1,000 each so the students could come and watch a women's basketball game during the NCAA tournament. And that's the success story right there. I mean, obviously we all want to win championships and things like that, but that says a lot. The support of all of these other sports for women's basketball. But I also get a chance to tell them that.
Big bucks,
there you
so
go.
They can do that.
There you go.
I agree.
Nikki, we appreciate you coming in.
Yes, we appreciate it.
We really do. And you're welcome back anytime.
Yes.
Nikki Caldwell, head lady basketball coach with the LSU Tigers. We'll be back to Jack in about 2 minutes to wrap it up. Stay right here.
Hi, we're the Tarvers with Tarver Ford. We just finished a fantastic year in 2014, and we're so excited about everything that's going on around us. But we're not going to take your business for granted, so in 2015, we're starting out with a bang.
Falling gas prices and a booming economy in our area are making your dollars go further than ever. We have a brand new redesigned F-150, and with 0% financing available on all our new car models, a new Ford could be in your future more affordably than you might think.
So come see us today at Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Ah, your backyard, your oasis, your place to relax while gardening, entertaining, and playing with the kids. Don't let mosquitoes drain the life out of your backyard. Stop mosquitoes with the Shield from J&J Exterminating. Our mosquito treatments start at $70 a month, and our service is guaranteed. Call J&J today for a free estimate and stop the mosquitoes.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at LeBear's. Boy, what a great show. Wrapping up our
What a great
LSU
show,
Tiger
huh?
Tour special.
That was fun.
Here at Jack Daniels. Many thanks to Les Miles
You settled
for coming
down
in.
yet?
Not yet. The big event is getting ready to start in just a minute. Okay?
Hey, yeah,
The big event.
I picked it Les Miles about having the baseball-sized ring on.
Yeah.
But tonight, you notice it? You probably can't see it on TV. He makes sure he wears NFL alumni.
There we
it
go.
Says.
We got competing jewelry here. Miles with this monstrous.
Scooter doesn't miss
we got
nothing, man.
We got nothing, Hobbs.
Scooter
Anyway,
doesn't miss anything,
many
man.
thanks
Come on,
to Les
Scooter.
Miles, head basketball
Oh, my
coach Johnny
goodness.
Jones, and
What a
the
great show,
lovely
Rick
Nikki
Scooter. What a great
Caldwell
show,
Get that in the pawn
for
shop
coming in.
somewhere.
I don't, guys. I don't think we learned anything. We knew Johnny Jones was a great coach and a very good communicator. We knew Nikki Caldwell is a good coach and a good communicator, knows the game. We know a lot about Les Miles.
Yeah.
I don't think we learned anything other than he's not going to say no to Everett Golston if he comes in there knocking in Baton Rouge and knocking on the door.
He said
he's
that
going
on
to
the
look
show.
at it.
He said he's
going to
look at it.
consider it. I don't know if it'd be a slam dunk. I think it's a long shot for Everett Golston to begin with. In fact, by the time this show airs, it he may have already.
Maybe a moot point. I realize that. And
I
of
agree,
course,
Scooter.
Braxton Miller up at Ohio State's really not a factor because he hasn't announced anything.
No,
so
he
he
hasn't.
still wants to be
No,
a
he hasn't.
Buckeye.
Yeah.
But, look, Coach Miles has to say what he has to say. He's got to support his quarterback.
But you're right, he does.
He's
I mean,
got to
that's his
support
team.
and that's what
That's his team.
they're in the wagon. He's going to ride that wagon.
I don't understand what like if Everett Golston was coming out of high school, Les or Mark Rick, or any of them, Jimbo Fisher could not even comment, because they're recruits.
Right.
But what's the difference here? But yet they're able to comment on specific people that are considering transfer. I don't understand it.
Look, 8-5. And I started off the interview with Les Miles saying the second decade. I mean, does everybody at this? I'm a big Les Miles fan. I think he's a great coach, great recruiter, and great communicator. But I would think there's a high percentage of Louisiana LSU fans that didn't think he would be here that long.
Percentage. I don't know about high percentage.
A percentage that didn't think he would be here that long. Either.
You mean didn't want him to be here that long?
Michigan.
Well, the moving. I know what Rick's saying. Yeah.
I pointed. It may be early on. When the first time that happened was 2007. That was his third year, right? 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
But the timing wasn't too good. LSU was playing for a national championship.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe then, but as I pointed out since then, he may be a Michigan man, but he has a Louisiana family.
Yes, he does.
I agree with Scooter on that.
And a big family. I mean,
a big family.
Keeping up
they
with those
play every
Miles
sports
kids,
there is here in Louisiana, all of his kids. But you know what? Let me just say for the record, too. You say going into his second decade, Rick, LSU's been pretty good to Coach Miles. Let me just say that for the record. They've been pretty good.
But you have been frustrated.
There were times
with Les Miles and some of the things that happened in the game.
There were times. But you know what? When you look at it, Rick, when you see the big picture of what he was saying about all of his coaches and how he's excited about having them in as a new staff, I think that may be one of the first times I've seen him that excited about having coaches on his staff that he says that I've been after this guy. He said, I've been after this guy for quite some time.
We've talked about this, and I think is the one thing we all agree on is you got to have those quality staff.
You do,
and
Rick.
you got to have good teachers.
You're only as good as
you
you.
know? You got to have
that
the
you
good
bring
teachers.
in under you, Rick,
Yep.
and that's what he's got to prove.
Yep.
If
All
he
right.
has a strength, I
Louisiana.
think it's the way he handles assistants too.
Yeah.
He lets them coach. He has their back,
right,
so to speak. He'll take heat for assistant
Yep,
coach.
he will.
I've never heard an assistant coach say one bad word.
Quality coach, indeed. All right. That's going to wrap it up here at Jack Daniels, our special LSU show. Kevin,
I've enjoyed it.
you did well.
Settle
buddy.
down. Settle down. The fun is just getting ready to get
You weren't
started.
gushing too much. There was no gushing was under control.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Thanks for joining us on this very special
Yeah.
show. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Sound Off 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Sound Off 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.